Hey there YouTube, how's it going? I'm here with another tip video, and today's topic is going to be about Maxi. What Maxi does is, if you discard it for the rest of this turn, if your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, you get to draw one card until the end of the turn. And ever since Billy Break won Toronto, a lot of people have seen Maxi in a new light and decided to run 2 to 3 Maxis, and it has become very popular now. Maxi has been become a really big card in this format, especially since Plant has become the #1 deck. And like the way Maxi is supposed to be used is supposed to stop your opponent from doing anything else. Another way you could look at Maxi is it's another Veiler, but better, because chances are you won't go neg. You might even go plus. For example, instead of Veilering a Debris Dragon, you can Maxi it, and they'll still, chances are, stop. Or they don't. They go into Black Rose, Stardust, maybe even the Church, and you draw 2 more cards if they bring back a Dandelion. But chances are they'll probably stop. And in another way, it's a Threatening Roar, because again, chances are they'll stop. And because it's able to stop the opponent, it's comparable to Veiler, because the reason why Veiler was so good is because it was able to stop the opponent. Although Maxi has become a really popular and powerful card, I see a lot of people not use it in the right way. For example, if I have a Tengu and you have a Tengu, and this is our first Tengus, I attack, and then I'll pitch Maxi right away. And then I'll eventually, you special summon another Tengu, I'll special summon mine, draw 1 card, attack, special summon yours again, special summon mine, attack, draw first, and then attack, getting rid of both our Tengus, and drawing 2 cards. And although that may seem really good, in my view, there's better ways for Maxi. Maxi, in my view, is like a Threatening Roar. Chances are they'll have to stop, or they don't, and you draw a lot of cards. And it should be used in a way that capitalizes that. For example, if my opponent summons Debris Dragon and targets a Dandelion Grave, I could pitch Maxi, they'll bring it back, I'll draw 1 card, and they're forced to stop. Or they don't, and they sync up, and then I'll draw 2 more cards for the tokens and whatever synchro they get for. And another example could be the 1-for-1 Dandy play. You could pitch Maxi when they activate 1-for-1 Dandy, and you'll draw 2 cards, 1 for whoever level 1 they summon, and the 2 tokens they draw, or they summon. In the examples, you could see how Maxi was used to stop my opponent and still regain card advantage. Unlike Veiler, it's able to stop the opponent while not going neg. And essentially, that's what a good player would use Maxi for, to stop your opponent from doing plays. For instance, if my opponent summons a Lone Fire, I have an open board, and they tribute off the Lone Fire, there is no point in me maxing just to draw 1 card. Unless I'm reading Monster Reborn. But chances are, even if they do have the Monster Reborn, then I could just use it when they Monster Reborn to the Lone Fire. Like, what's the point? So they could just get the Dandy. Chances are, if they have the Dandy, then they probably have something to go along with it, like the Debris Dragon or the Monster Reborn. And that would be the crucial time in playing Maxi. However, if I have a Thunder King and they summon a Lone Fire, and then they tribute it off, I could pitch Maxi knowing that they probably do have mind control, and then that'll get them to get their thing and stop right there, and then hopefully I could deal with whatever they got. But this is just another example of how Maxi could be used to stop my opponent from doing stuff. Maxi can be used in many different ways, but the most important thing is to stop your opponent from doing stuff. And an example of how Maxi could be used this way is if I attack with Thunder King and we each have one card in hand, they activate MSC to show my back row, and then here I could pitch my Maxi knowing that that's a Gorz in hand, because obviously it's not a Treg unless they're hoping to sack a level 4 or unless they're really low. But chances are they'll have that Gorz in hand, and they won't drop it because they don't want me to draw 2 cards. So what happened was, sure, I went neg 1 on the Maxi, but I made them keep that Gorz in hand, which was a crucial play because that Gorz would have wrecked me. If I just kept the Maxi in hand and they drop Gorz, then chances are I lose. Even at times where you have like 2 Maxis in hand, you should try and avoid going 1-for-1 even with just one of them, because Maxi is a pretty big card, especially if you're playing the plant matchup. Like, in most of these scenarios, I'm giving a plant matchup just because that's the deck Maxi's most what's it called, good against. But like, obviously if you're gonna play Karakuri's or like some, well actually no, not Karakuri's, but like Dark World or some deck that Maxi's is not good against, like obviously it's good to do the 1-for-1 plays, like if they flip a spy. But like, if you're playing decks that special summon a lot, like Karakuri's and what's it called, plants, just try and hold on to your Maxis. Even if you have like 2 in hand, even though you can only use once per turn, that means you have 2 chances to use Maxi on 2 separate turns for 2 big pushes. So it's like having 2 faders in your hand, really, and they leave their board vulnerable. Like, that's what Maxi does. It just stops your opponent and gives you another turn. So why not just keep the Maxis in hand? But yeah, that's pretty much all for the Maxi video. Just wanted to tell you guys that you should always hold on to your Maxi if you're playing against the plant matchup or really like any deck that special summons. And there's more ways of using it than just to draw cards or just to try and gain a plus. Like, if you're just using it to draw cards, why not just play Duality or Jar Greed, right? Like, there's a purpose in playing, especially 3 Maxi and 1 Veiler, because Veiler was originally used to stop your opponent, but now you're playing Maxis which stop your opponent and allows you to draw cards. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you like it, please comment and like this video, and depending on like the response to this video, I'll try and update more often on these type of videos. And yeah, peace YouTube.